people. You've been watching too many Titanics, I guess.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I mean, you got to watch them icebergs out there. UFOs have them, the rivets are going to go.
Yeah, I would. How could they make them airtight? Put together with rivets? Come on. But they're looking out through these portals, looking at us humans like, oh, I was in my car. This giant UFO, the size of Walmart, triangle shape, gray in color. It was riveted. It had big rivets all over it. But it had these big windows, and these aliens were looking out the window and waving at me.
I got news for you. But
what were they smoking?
if a UFO showed up any Walmart in the country that size, everybody and their brother, even their kids, got recording devices. You'd see that all over the internet, ASAP, live, while it's happening.
Yeah, that's why I like the show The Invaders. It was so much ahead of its time, and whoever, was the writers of it, and the guy who originally thought about it and pitched it to the network of these alien. Yeah, Martin Quinn. The same one that did 12 O'Clock High. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And a couple other ones. But I tell you that the people, I hear it all. James, you don't get these people emailing you, want to be a guest on the show. I mean, I've gotten some strange, and I'm not saying they're all, because we got some great guests that come on the show, but I got some ones that, I would need a stiff drink just even to read it. That's how obscure they are.
I've had a few approach me. I think they're actually hybrids, to be honest with you. I'm dead serious.
You sure they're not inbreeds and you're getting the two mixed up? Hybrids or hybrids, inbreed or inbreeds.
Tomato, I don't know.
Hey, it's tomorrow.
I'm just saying. Sometimes I scratch my head like, oh boy.
Well, you must have scratched it a lot because you lost a lot of hair.
See, that's what I'm telling you. That's right. You're very noticeable.
Yeah, that's okay. See, now isn't it nice when we're not on the radio?
It's nice for you because you just spewing out some of them words I haven't heard since the last sailing ship came by my house the other day.
Yeah, probably. But I'm just trying to make a point to the people, okay? I do, honestly, getting serious here. I do think we're being watched. I think people are honestly being abducted. I don't know the reason why. I think the ones that are being returned are being returned for maybe a couple of different various reasons. One, they don't meet the standard of the abduction. Maybe it's the intelligent level. Oh, gee, James, you need to call back. Hey, it's at 9:44. Yeah, that's at the time it drops out. So we'll get him back on here. But when you think about this, that there is so many. Okay, here he is. Yeah, the magic time.
Like clockwork. I have a 4-hour quota, I guess.
Yeah, you do. And we're still going strong. It actually is 3 hours and 45 minutes, and then it shuts you off. But if you think about this, that some of these people are being returned because they maybe just don't meet the qualifications for the abduction they want. As simple as that. So those are the lucky people that get returned. Maybe if it's somebody that has a higher intelligent level, or maybe has something genetic a little bit different, they're the ones that are not being returned. I don't know. But it's sure a lot of them.
Maybe it's the ones that might have something to do with them. They might taste sour. I don't know what it is either, but there's definitely they have some kind of protocol they're going by. That's for sure.
Well, that's the scary part. And why? And if they're experimenting with people, why do they need to keep doing it over and over again? Why do they have to mutilate cattle over and over again for hundreds of years? Okay, it don't make sense. Why do they do crop circles off and on for years and years and years. It's just not making logical sense. And then you got these two camps. You got these people who claim they've never been abducted, but they claim that this entity comes in their brain and gives them all this information that, okay. It's called schizophrenia, folks. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had to deal with that with a relative here recently. And I tell you, I don't think they come in your brain and they sit there and give you, only you, all this information to save mankind. Now, if they came here and James gave you all the information to save mankind, or what the future is going to be, what in the hell are you going to be able to do about it? I couldn't do anything about it because no one's going to listen to me. They're going to put me in a rubber room. They're going to put you in a rubber room.
That's the whole thing. If they're going to go that far, should pick somebody that's got a little bit of pull or power in the right positions to be able to do something. And it's usually Joe Blow lives out in the country somewhere, don't know nobody.
Yeah, and has a 6th grade education. Why don't they take Trump or our vice president, Pierce, or somebody like that, or whoever, and give them, download all the information to them so they can make a decision, because they're the one that has the capability of changing things. I certainly don't. You don't.
Nope.
So I don't believe, in other words, just because somebody claims and has a PhD and says that the Earth is being circulated by 25 million cloaked UFOs here, they're protecting us against ourselves. Yeah. Okay. What are they protecting us? Why do we have murders then? Why do we have wars? Why is Antarctica melting? Why do we have windstorms and hurricanes? Why do we have all this? Why are people dying on the street if they're here to protect us?
Yeah, they're not here to protect us, that's for sure. I can assure you of that one. If anybody's here to protect anybody, they're not going to take you against your will and do things to you. That's not protection. That's for their own self-indulgence and hidden agendas.
I don't believe a race that's intelligent enough to design starships and have the technology to reach other solar systems. They only would have two reasons. One would be to, like Star Trek, go out and find new worlds. Or they're out here looking for certain things that they need. I mean, look, right. What did Hitler do? Hitler wanted more and more because he needed that to keep growing. Okay? It's as simple as that. Well, aliens, at one point, they would exhaust, wouldn't they, after a certain amount of time, all their planet's resources. So they're going to have to go other places to get resources, or their planet is dying and they have to go find another planet. Duh!
Yeah, or, again, maybe they're running out of food, maybe they're running out of all kinds of things, resource of their own planet, and our planet's all got all kinds of things they can really enjoy.
Yeah, well, maybe they live in water. Maybe they're a water-based living creature. So maybe that's why Antarctica and all Greenland and all North Pole and the South Pole are all going bye-bye.
Yeah, but for one thing, if they wanted our planet, they sure wouldn't be helping us. They would just let us destroy ourselves from within.
Well, we're certainly doing a good job of it right now, aren't we?
Right. So they're probably, looking at their watches saying, well, they're kind of ahead of schedule.
Yeah, but don't forget, you look at it again, like you have said many times, our minute could be a microsecond to them. A year, our year, could be a day to them. To think about that. So we live on the average 70-some years. To them, 70-some years might only be 7 days.
A minute. Yeah. Or a minute.
Or a minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, They don't care about us. It's quite apparent they had many of opportunities to help mankind. They could have wiped out cancer. They could have wiped out all the diseases, people starving to death. They could have fixed all that. Have they done it? Well, guess what? You get this other group of people saying, well, they're not, because they watch Star Trek, the objective. Well, they're here just to observe. They're not here to, change anything. Okay, well, if they're here just to observe and not change anything, why in the hell are they abducting people?
That's a good point. Exactly. Contradictive.
Why did you eat my Aunt Bertha?
Well, she was on a low-fat diet for a month.
After they abducted her and didn't feed her for a month.
Exactly. You just couldn't put her back. It was just too tempting.
Oh, yeah. Well, guess what? I saw aliens coming down my driveway. And now I see owls all the time.
Right. You might want to check into that, buddy.
Yeah, well. I wrote a book about owls.
Somebody did.
Yeah. I just saying it's ludicrous out there.
It is. There's so much contradiction, but
there's
people were just...
no way, James, there's no way somebody can be implanted, abducted, and not have some type of memory about it. Even little bits after a period of time. I just really feel that there's got to be something there, and that's bugging me tonight. It's bugging. He's a good friend of mine, but yet I think he's scared.
Yeah, there's a couple questions there that just kind of, boy, it really hit a nerve, and I think he's got an internal battle going on, and it's because of what they've done to him, probably, I'm sure.
Well, that, and maybe you ever think about that? You have your family. Now, I'm not talking about Timothy or anybody. I'm just going to talk in general, right?
Yeah.
You've been abducted. Okay? They implanted you. Or if they didn't implant you, they put their fingers down your mouth and try to come out your ear. Okay? So you've been abducted. Okay? You have these memories of being abducted. You're returned because for some reason they kick you out of the spaceship, right? But, okay, you tell your wife, you tell your family members, and you know what they tell you? But, Dad, don't tell anybody. Because people will look at you funny.
Right.
So then what happens is everybody in your family, instead of being supportive and saying, hey, Dad, we need to get this information out, it's the other way around. Please, Dad, don't tell anybody. I'm going to college. I'm going to be a CPA. I need, or I'm going to be a dentist or a lawyer. Please, Dad, don't do anything because it'll destroy me.
Right.
So,
and that goes on all the time. It's so much, very much so does.
So you get people not wanting to say anything. And that's what happens. So I think people want to explain maybe things, but maybe because of the family structure, they're scared to. That's all.
Yeah, and I can see their point 100%.
So what do you think what's going on?
What? Say that again?
What in the hell do you think is going on?
I wish I had that answer. I think there's just a lot of distraction going on. I think there's a lot of hidden agendas going on by different various beings that are vying for our resources in biological, maybe food to minerals to whatever it may be. And the bottom line is I'm not volunteering for none of this.
Yeah, but you have no say. If they decide
I know
for some reason they see you getting on your bike and you're cruising down to the store, right? And they just happen to scan you and they go, hey, let's just take this nut. And they zap you, right? Nobody's going to even notice you're gone. So they zap you for a couple hours. Maybe you're lucky they'll return you. And you continue on with your life. And you go, boy, I had a dream last night that I was abducted.